Alrighty, what do we have today? Prosperity with Colony and Platinum, and Cornucopia Guilds looks like. So for draw, we got Rabble, Vault, Carnival, Watchtower, lots of terminal draw, only one stack of villages with Workers' Village, so that puts a bit of a cap on how many of the draw cards you can play, and also no trashing whatsoever, which means drawing is going to be tricky because there's a lot of junk to draw through, and you can only play so many of these terminal draw cards with as many workers' villages as you have. Plus, buy looks like no object. You're gonna have a ton of workers' villages anyway, so it will come for free. There's also Tiara as needed or Horn of Plenty for gains. Uh, Horn of Plenty poses an interesting question here. So generally, Horn of Plenty is like a super strong top tier payload card, where you just build a deck that plays a bunch of Horn of Plenties. At some point, you take all the rest of the provinces in one turn and you win. That might be the correct move here. The two things that complicate that to my eye are firstly, that deck doesn't generally take any provinces until the very final turn, which means it might not be the best for making use of Joust. And the rewards, I almost said prizes, I would be dating myself. Um, the rewards from Joust seem fairly good here. There's three villages. I forgot about Domain. Um, all three of these top three rewards are villages, which might be good in a kingdom with limited villages. And if you're getting Joust anyway, you're already taking a province, and there's also a bunch of good payload rewards. Maybe Joust pushes in the direction of just like kind of early provinces, and then you don't need to build a Horn of Plenty Megaturn. The other thing that comes to mind, I think it's Horn of Plenty is a little bit worse with colonies, because if you want colonies, you have to build up to 11 uniques, which is not like impossible or anything here, especially with rewards, but is at least non-trivial. Where hitting 8 unique cards is fairly trivial. And if you don't do that, well, then your opponent buying colonies probably, not provinces, and then you have to take 8 provinces all at once instead of like 4 or 5 or how many remaining. So I think Horn of Plenty still seems reasonable here, but not as obvious as it usually is. Um, Also, neither here nor there, but something to keep in mind with Horn of Plenty and a card that can double it like Tiara is you actually technically need 9 uniques usually for that to work, because if you play Tiara playing Horn of Plenty twice, Horn counts itself. But if you gain a province on the first Horn play, Horn will trash itself, and then it can't count itself anymore for the second Horn play because it's already gone. And so, like, 4 tiaras and 4 horns actually only get you like 4 provinces doing it that way. Or 6 if you just like played the first horn normally and then doubled the other 3. But you need 9 uniques to make use of all 8 horn plays. Anyways, I'm getting a little bit rambly. Let's open with something. I have the 5-2. I guess contemplate the 4-3. Tiara Silver, I think, generally in opening, I like finding Tiara and Silver on turn 3 is great because you can top deck a good card. Finding Tiara and not Silver on turn 3 is usually fine because you can top deck another Tiara to line up with your Silver. Generally kind of pleasant just because of the top deck effect. Not a super strong opening or anything, but it's one that I like. The other one, and probably a little bit better, that jumps out to me is Watchtower Clerk. Um, Watchtower draws 1 extra if it lines up with your clerk. It also draws 1 extra if your opponent's clerk hits you uh, and reduces your hand size. So those two I think kind of go well with each other. I think I like the blue opening over the yellow opening, but neither is relevant here as I have the 5-2. I probably want either Rabble or Vault. Seems best to me. Carnival is definitely not going to be good enough early. I don't have a diverse deck. Rabble, I think the attack matters somewhat here with the no thinning. It's also the most draw. Vault also seems better than usual here if you can't get rid of your states because it means you can discard them for payload. Yeah, I think I like Rabble, but Vault seems reasonable too. Vault's really good at specifically hitting 6. If you play Vault and discard all 6 cards currently in your hand, you're hitting at least 6. But there's not a particular reason to spike 6. So I think I'm fine with the Rabble. Here, whatever I buy is fairly likely to collide with the Rabble. So it could be like a workers' village, but I don't need the village effect quite yet. Could be Joust as well. I think I'm going to say workers' village anyway, because if I end up buying, I think I could buy Clerk here, for example. And then if I draw it, I won't draw it dead. This seems like it's shaping up to be an unpleasant kingdom. The bot's buying all the attack cards, uh, and without the fitting to get deck control, I think the attacks could make these turns annoyingly random and inconsistent. I think just another Rabble. Again, I think Vault is a reasonable card to take here. I'm not sure whether it's better than Rabble. Oh, this is a sad draw. Sad, sad, sad. I'll take a Vault now. It's a draw card, and it's a card that will hopefully help me spike 8, discarding these estates. This is only 7, but in anticipation of hitting 8 soon, I think I'm going to go ahead and take that Joust already. That's what I'm going to want. This Clerk I actually don't mind. Let's just top deck a Village. I'll need it next turn. Yeah, this Kingdom does not spark joy. Not one bit. Take a province now. This is just painfully random. Oh no, I found most of my villages and only one draw card. Alas, I have almost no control over that. Takes the workers' villages. That makes sense, but makes me sad because I wanted those. I don't know, more jousts, another province. Probably another draw card. I can take Carnival at this point, maybe. I think the vaults have diminishing utility because you need one to discard your estates for money, but then the second one's not doing much. And between Rabble and Carnival, I think it's fairly close at this point. Carnival probably on average draws more than 3 cards, but Rabble has an attack that I think matters with all the junk. And I'm sad. This kingdom brings me sadness. We're just flipping coins over and over. Will my joust collide with my province? Who knows? I can't control that. Will my workers' villages line up with my draw? Also, equally up to fate. Far be it from me to suffer in silence. I shall make my displeasure known. Alright, well, let's put the province on top at least. That kind of salvages this turn. Bot should have a province by now if it has jousts. Oh, did I say salvage this turn? I meant, never mind, I'm still going to be sad. How long ago did I get province? This is absurd. Alright, finally. The very first reward. Looks like I need one of the village ones, probably. So Coronet, Domain, Courser. Domain seems like the clear worst of the 3. I don't need a gold. 4 plus buy. Either of these seems decent. I'll take the Coronet. If I can double play copper. Lucky me. I guess I'm just doing this. Another province. I don't really know what I'm doing here. guess I'm gonna take a tiara now. If I gain the huge turnip, I can double it. The bot is trashing coppers. Why must you be like this, bot? Look at all of my joust whiffing. I hate this kingdom. I don't think I've stressed that enough yet. This is awful. I think this kingdom is making me physically ill. Alright, well, one of these at least needs to be a village. I'll take Corsair now. Can I draw another village? I'm hoping yes, so I can afford to gain something more payloady. Huge turnip, I guess. I'm not sure that even with the tiara, huge turnip beats renown. Renown's in general a better payload card. But I got that tiara, and by golly, I'm gonna make use of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm just gonna discard these. I could play them for 1 money and draw, but then I'm just drawing the estates again, so I don't think I'm netting any money. Alright, 25. What do you even buy with 25? Is this enough to win? Not quite, right? That's 30 money right there. It's only 6 buy. Yeah, there's no win here. I don't know, I guess I take some provinces. Ooh, House Carl now. I have more provinces in the deck, and this will hopefully stop me from dudding. I don't gain. I actually shouldn't discard. Not that it's going to matter at all, but technically I should not discard this because it's one more card I can discard to vault for money. And I have an excess of terminals, so I'm probably coordinating the joust. Discard. Discard. I guess the gold in the discard is some reason to have potentially waited on the coronet, because I could have double played the tiara, doubling turnip and gold for slightly more money. But I think I needed to do this to be able to draw. Does the order of these matter? Too much. I gotta keep the Warriors Village, I guess. I want to play the Clerk and I want to play the Renown. Discard all the coppers, because I would rather draw a copper again than draw a victory card for 1 extra money. Alright, this is much money. It's enough to end on colonies, so I suppose I'll do that. And a duchy. And some estates. This is one of those cases where the phrase last but not least certainly does not apply. This kingdom was awful. I do not recommend it. What a unpleasant way to wrap up the month, and I did not like it one bit.